this seems like an insult to the intelligence of the people, but I guess it's one they think they can get away with. They're just going to stick to this narrative no matter what. The FBI is hard at work gathering evidence in the tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk. So here is Kash Patel coming on Fox News to say that the shooter left a note, even though we didn't leave a note that we found, but we were able to forensically deduce what the contents of this note that doesn't exist anymore was. So let's say easy to follow, right? Let's see. I'm sure he could put it much better since he's a professional.
A written note before the assassination attempt. That's what the governor said yesterday. And what did that say? If you could.
So what I'm able to say. I'm sorry. So what I'm able to say is I addressed it partially earlier. Is that the written note we believe what did exist, and we have evidence to show what was in that note, which is, and I'm going to summarize, basically saying the suspect wrote a note saying, "I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." That note was written before the shooting. Evidence of its existence, we now have learned, existed before the shooting, was in the location in the suspect and partner's home. But we have since learned that the note, even though it has been destroyed, we have found forensic evidence of the note, and we have confirmed what that note says because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI.
Aggressive
So we've confirmed what this note says, even though it's been destroyed. We've seen forensic. What is forensic evidence of a note? What, a pen? Is that forensic evidence of a note? And we've determined what it said through, what did he say? An aggressive interview posture?
Note says because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI.
So for those wondering,
they can't use enhanced interrogation anymore. Everyone knows what that means.
Yeah, everybody knows what that means. So aggressive interview posture at the FBI. Now, for those who don't know what that means, the FBI has released, informational videos about what they mean by aggressive interview posture. So here's a brief clip of that.
Simple part, dude. I grab one of them, beat it out of them.
Yeah, that's what they mean by aggressive interview posture, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more time, in case you missed it.
That's the simple part, dude. I grab one of them, beat it out of them.
Yeah. So that's what it's just fucking insane. So, friend of the show, Jimmy Dore, has a take on this, which I endorse. Pure clown show. Get this: the shooter wrote a note that said he was going to take out Charlie Kirk, but the note was destroyed. But trust the FBI because they say that's what the note says. Seriously, so cartoonish that you can't make this stuff up. No, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. So now they have released purported text exchange between Kirk's alleged assassin and the trans boyfriend. All right. So the Utah County DA just dictated to a press conference that is purportedly the full text message exchange between Charlie Kirk's assassin and his transgender boyfriend roommate shortly after the alleged assassin committed the murder. Note the needless use of modifiers and elaborations, which I, the author, highlighted in bold. These formulations remind me of composition student struggling with his tendency to wordiness and not a 22-year-old boy texting on his phone while trying to grab the rifle he just used to commit an assassination. The texter also seems to go out of his way to include incriminating details that are far beyond the scope of letting his lover know he'll be home soon. So here's the transcript. Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard. The roommate says, "You are joking, right? Robinson, I'm still okay, my love. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry. Roommate, I thought they caught the person. Robinson, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude who was since arrested for child images, shall we say. Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. Then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated. Now he's texting all this while he's trying to get away, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's what we're supposed to believe. If I am to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Roommate, how long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. Look at all of this text. I'm
What
worried.
they lift this from Wuthering Heights?
Yeah, I mean, I was like,
Like it's in this
like, what are you
elevated
supposed
prose style.
yeah.
Nobody would write this.
Who
Nobody.
texted this? Who texted this?
Like much less a 22-year-old.
Who's like trying to
On
get
the
away
run.
with a who's on the run. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back grandpa's rifle. IDEK, I don't even know, I'm assuming, if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. So that is exposition. So as you know, an aspiring playwright and screenwriter in my old days or my youth, one thing that
Like Ben Shapiro.
the mark of like Ben Shapiro. One thing is that's the mark of bad fiction is when you go out of your way to reveal exposition inorganically.
Yeah.
Right. Like, for example, you don't want the character to say, let's go to McDonald's. That was the first job that I had before I went to high school when I was 14, because it's inorganically revealing exposition.
Nobody would do that.
Right.
Yes.
No one just narrates their life casually in conversation. So where I changed outfits, I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how he was engraving bullets. The F in messages are mostly a big scheme. If I see mostly a big meme, sorry. If I see notice bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. IDK. I think that was a $2K scope. Delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. So if you're saying to delete the exchange, it means you're cognizant of the possibility that this is going to wind up as evidence, no? Like if you're telling me to delete the exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. Again, you are all I worry about, love. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. If his lover is all he's worried about, why is he implicating her or him or whatever in the crime to begin with? If you're going to turn yourself in, why not leave your lover out of it if you don't want to create problems for them? That's not to say that people who commit a crime like this think all this through logically, but this is what they got. This is what they got. And the story is that he shoved the rifle in his pants to get on the roof. As Kim Iverson points out, those pants were skin tight.
Right.
You're going to hide a gun.
How would you do that?
How would you, it's just.
Yeah. I mean, there's where I come back to. It's the Oliver Stone JFK principle. You might be able to debate certain aspects. Some people have said the hand signals, people made too much out of that. Whatever, man. Do you believe this account of the story? This account of the story is impossible. So now you've established they're lying. Now you have to start to ask why. That we can all agree on, whatever. Maybe this detail or that detail taken as a whole. Look at this. Nobody would write this. Nobody would write this. It's impossible. Look at the style. And if there are any people that are so intrinsically incompetent that they would try to pass this off as a legitimate exchange, it's Crazy Eyes Patel and company.
Yeah. This totally unnecessary and needlessly detailed confession by text message is what one would expect to see in the climactic "Why did you do it?" scene or film noir convention. The following example from the Maltese Falcon, though, in this case, Bogey's "Why did you do it?" delivery is angry instead of tender and distraught. So Will Adams says, the FBI is fabricating fake text now. I'm Gen Z, and this isn't how we talk. If Biden's FBI tried this, he'd be impeached by sunset. But when it's Trump's crew, we're just supposed to shrug. No, this is bullshit and should be a national scandal. Enough with the double standards. This is how the text messages of the Robinson guy sounds. Barack, good morning, Michelle, my wife. Michelle, hello, Obama. Yes, exactly. Revealing the exposition. Hey, FBI, my parents don't believe me. Can you please tell them I studied last weekend? Here are my texts to prove it. Hey, hello, my friend. So do you remember last weekend when we were studying physics? Yes, we were studying physics last weekend. It was very studious of us. Exactly. Not even AI is buying the supposed Tyler Robinson text messages to the supposed lover. You expect me to believe that he allegedly just finished an assassination full of adrenaline and in a panic would text a novella to his lover right after, giving us convenient plot points. That's right. So Grok doesn't even buy it here. Based on what's shown in your screenshots, the content itself, the Robinson roommate transcript is extremely detailed, full of incriminating admissions, and conveniently structured like a script. So yeah, we don't have to read that whole thing, but you get the picture. Thank goodness that Robinson left a string of text messages that completely corroborate everything the FBI told us 48 hours earlier. And if you look on Twitter, you'll see, just as Pam Bondi was roundly, denounced by even people within MAGA for the just foot and mouth nature of the, hate speech versus free speech. And then we're going to prosecute Office Depot workers for not printing flyers and things like that. You've seen a lot on the MAGA side of things. Steve Bannon saying he's suspicious of the text message. Matt Walsh was saying he was suspicious of the text exchange. So, yeah, I mean, look, like, this is already an FBI and a DOJ that MAGA itself, the MAGA coalition, had grown very suspicious of, given their handling of the Epstein files. And so they don't have a lot of goodwill in the bank with the base. And of course, this is not helping. This is not helping at all. This seems like an insult to the intelligence of the people, but I guess it's one they think they can get away with. They're just going to stick to this narrative no matter what. And hey, look, when it comes to the murder, look, Donald Trump's politics were never my politics. I never voted for Donald Trump. I never voted against Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. So, like, if this is a crime committed by left, no matter who did it, I would denounce it just as loudly. I would disavow it and condemn it just as loudly, no matter who did it, no matter the motive. So, like, I'm not trying to spin this in any particular direction. What I'm saying is, based on what we see here, the narrative that they insist that this was, leftist ideology and that it was motivated in that way, I'm just not convinced of that based on the fact that they're not producing what strikes even Steve Bannon as credible evidence, even Roger Stone as credible evidence. He says a lot of these questions remain unanswered. And the fact that, yes, you do have what looks like a group of very angry, powerful people who had reason to be mad at Charlie Kirk, which suggests a broader conspiracy. Suggests it, does not prove it, of course. But yeah, the more we learn about this, the worse it looks.
The day you walked into my office, I knew it was going to end this way.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I always hated Charlie. I always hated him. I smiled at him, but I secretly harbored feelings. Yeah, no, it's an insult to their own supporters that they are not making more of an effort at this cover up.
Yeah.
And as one of those tweets pointed out, how much of a double standard are you going to apply? Because yes, if this happened, can you imagine if this happened under the Biden administration and they released that
Yeah.
and tried to pass that off as a real exchange from the killer? Yeah, no, the fact, and I don't know if this is still true. Supposedly hadn't seen a lawyer in the first 48 hours. The whole thing just stinks. The whole thing doesn't add up. The fact that they claimed he stuck the gun in his pants, but then okay, even if you accept that, why would he put it back together and leave it in the woods like that? Like this is a classic kind of MK Ultra operation. I'm sorry, we got into that a little bit on Katie's show last night. We actually on this show interviewed the author of Chaos, Tom O'Neill. And, he basically made a very good case that their claim that MK Ultra didn't work is a lie. And he shows the receipts, man. He found the files where Jolly West and other people who were involved in it claimed that it was a success. This was in forgotten boxes and files in the basement of universities. So, okay, if you take that evidence as real, and I do, it's going back to the 50s and 60s. They figured out how to program people for assassination. The Butler thing is very strange. This is very strange. It looks like he was set up as a patsy. And if you look at the way this is going, and if you look at past history, I don't wish this for him. It would not surprise me at all if he conveniently self-deletes.
Yeah. It's a very, very troubling pattern of information that we're looking at here. I mean, who buys that? Like this is what you're putting out there as evidence? I mean, come on.
Yep.
I mean, it's just like it just gets stranger and stranger and stranger.
Hey, you know what's broken? Our so-called healthcare system. You get sick, you jump through hoops, beg your doctor for something that's been around for decades, and they still tell you no. And insurance, forget it. They never cover what actually works. That's why I use All Family Pharmacy, a patient-first independent pharmacy that says yes when others make you wait. They connect you with licensed U.S. doctors who review your requests online quickly, legally, and without all the red tape. They've just lowered prices on most ivermectin and mebendazole up to 25%. Ivermectin starts at just $2 a capsule. And now they've got NAD+, the anti-aging injectable everybody's talking about. Here's how it works. Order online in minutes. A licensed doctor reviews your order to make sure it's right for you, and your medication shipped straight to your door. No waiting rooms, no gatekeepers, no insurance middlemen telling you what you can and can't have. Take control of your health. Use the code DORE10 and go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Dore right now. Your health, your choice. Come see me on tour in Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.